In the beginning of the drama, we see our male lead Mingtang, who accidentally gets admission into a girls' college. There he meets our female lead Fanyu, a fighter he cannot stand. Fanyu, a famous MMA fighter, becomes popular in a short time. Meanwhile, Mingtang lives a difficult life with his two younger siblings after losing both his parents. His brother is a huge fan of Fanyu and calls her a queen. Mingtang works in a restaurant to support his family. One day, while delivering food, he sees an old lady's cart rolling downhill. A girl nearby tries to stop it, but breaks it instead. That girl is Fanyu. She gives money to the old lady and leaves without apologizing, making Mingtang angry at her rude behavior. Later, Mingtang meets Fanyu again at her master's place and realizes she is the same girl. Soon after, he receives confirmation of his scholarship admission to Zhang'a College in another city. He moves there with his siblings and starts a part-time job. On his first day, Mingtang is shocked to discover the college is full of girls. He meets Ching, who looks like a boy at first, and becomes embarrassed when everyone stares at him. Since he is the only boy left in college, the staff try hard to stop him from leaving. Many girls become interested in him, including Sia and Ching, who argue over showing him around. While escaping from them, Mingtang meets Fanyu again. They argue after she gives him money for his injured hand instead of apologizing. He calls her a monster, deeply hurting her. Later, Mingtang learns Fanyu was actually saving a child earlier and he misunderstood her. Fanyu remembers her painful childhood, where everyone called her a monster because she behaved like a boy. Even her best friend rejected her, leaving her emotionally broken. Mingtang also remembers his difficult past with his drunk father and how he was left alone to care for his siblings after both parents were gone. The next day, Mingtang tries to transfer colleges because there are no facilities for boys. However, the director convinces him to stay by offering financial support. At sports selection, Chung leads boxing while Sia leads taekwondo. Fanyu and Chung practice boxing, but Fanyu loses focus after seeing Mingtang. Later, both Cheng and Sia try to recruit him, but Mingtang chooses the swimming club because nobody joins it. While cleaning the dirty swimming pool, Mingtang accidentally enters the girls' washroom and sees Fanyu bathing. She misunderstands him and kicks him hard, though he explains it was a mistake. Meanwhile, another boy named Yuno joins the college and instantly falls in love with Fanyu after seeing her. Even after she throws him away angrily, he cannot stop thinking about her. Later, while working on a delivery, Mingtang saves a child from some goons, but then the goons surround him and start beating him. Sia rushes to help him, and soon Fanyu and Ching join too. Together they defeat the goons. Fanyu tells Mingtang he should learn self-defense because he cannot protect himself. Mingtang thanks them, but says he only joined the college for scholarship money. The girls feel sad seeing his poor condition. Later, Mingtang gets scolded because the delivery food spoiled. Fanyu defends him against her younger brother, who owns the delivery shop. That night, Fanyu keeps thinking about Mingtang and even feels jealous seeing Sia close to him. Meanwhile, Mingtang becomes happy after seeing a drawing made by his sibling. The next day, Fanyu attends her uncle's funeral and remembers how much he supported her, and then Mingtang also comes. Somehow he also knew about him. Later at college, the director punishes the girls for fighting the goons and orders them to train Mingtang. Soon a strong fighter named Suanhao is introduced, while another girl also wants revenge on Fanyu for defeating her earlier. The next day, Mingtang sees a tournament poster showing Mingtang versus Fanyu and becomes shocked. Fanyu says she only wants him to become stronger, but Mingtang gets angry and threatens to leave the college if his name is not removed. Even after Chung warns her, Fanyu refuses to apologize. Later, they also discover Mingtang lost his KFC job because of the failed delivery. Meanwhile, Yuno becomes popular in college, but soon realizes the girls are not truly interested in him. Suanhao later explains the tournament rules where every challenge must be accepted. At the same time, Fanyu comes to return Mingtang's broken bicycle. Mingtang tells the director he has finally decided to leave the college. The director desperately tries to stop him and explains how famous the college tournament is, but Mingtang refuses to stay unless Fanyu removes his name. Meanwhile, Suanhao challenges Chung to a fight. During the match, He defeats her easily using unexpected moves. Chang gets angry, but Suinhao says there are no rules limiting fighting style. Yuno becomes excited after hearing the tournament is televised and can make students famous, though the director warns him the fights are dangerous. Later, Mingtang starts another part-time job wearing a bunny costume. Fengyu visits the shop and unknowingly helps him after some kids push him down. She softly talks about how she once had a bunny like that as a child. Hearing this, Mingtang realizes she is not as cold as she seems. Meanwhile, Chang's father jokes that she should marry the boy who defeats her. Later, Suinhao visits their house, and her father warmly welcomes him because he is a champion fighter. At the same time, Xia helps Mingtang at work because she likes him. Later, Fenyu and Cheng visit Mingtang's small house to return his bicycle. When Mingtang arrives with Xia, his younger siblings come outside and instantly recognize Fenyu as their favorite fighter queen. Mingtang's younger brother excitedly calls Fenyu his favorite fighter and brings everyone inside their small house. Fenyu feels awkward seeing their poor condition, and Mingtang notices she is uncomfortable with the simple tea they offer. Later, everyone plays cards together. During the game, a cockroach appears, making all the girls scream in fear. Mingtang's younger brother catches it and jokes about how fearless they claim to be. At one point, Fengyu accidentally falls onto Mingtang, making Xia jealous. Afterward, Fengyu gives Mingtang a new bicycle because his old one broke because of her. He refuses at first, but she explains she only challenged him so he could learn self-defense and stop getting bullied. Mingtang then remembers his painful past. His father once accidentally killed a fighter during a match, which ruined their family. His father became an alcoholic, his mother left, and Mingtang promised never to fight again. The next day, the headmaster punishes Fenyu and Mingtang by making them clean the swimming pool together. They keep arguing and splashing water until a woman ties their legs together so they can work properly. After cleaning, Mingtang falls asleep from exhaustion. Fenyu quietly watches him and starts developing feelings for him, but when he suddenly wakes up, she gets embarrassed and runs away. Mingtang misunderstands and thinks she was trying to choke him. Meanwhile, Cheng again challenges Suinhao for a rematch, but he notices she is unwell and refuses to fight. Later, he secretly brings her hot coffee, making Cheng realize he may not actually be bad. Elsewhere, Mingtang meets his old school bully Yachan, who humiliates him again. When Mingtang's younger brother attacks Yachan, Mingtang is forced to kneel and apologize to protect him. Yachan insults him before leaving. That night, Mingtang's brother cries and asks why he never fights back. Mingtang explains fighting already destroyed their family, and he fears losing everything again. Still, Fenyu's words about protecting his family stay in his mind. The next morning, Mingtang promises his siblings he will become stronger. He finally joins Fenyu's self-defense training and starts exercising seriously. He even registers for the tournament. Meanwhile, Yachan joins Zhangha College and starts bullying Mingtang again. Fenyu steps in, twists Yachan's finger, and warns him to stop. Mingtang thanks her and says this time he will defeat Yachan himself. Later, Fenyu becomes confused by how much she keeps thinking about Mingtang. At the same time, Mingtang starts a hotel job. Fenyu arrives there with her grandfather and meets her childhood friend Wei, the same boy who once called her a monster. Their families discuss marriage between them, making Fenyu uncomfortable. Wei later apologizes for the past, but Fenyu coldly rejects him. Mingtang overhears everything and becomes angry. During lunch, Wei forces Fenyu to drink wine, so Mingtang intentionally spills it on him and loses his job because of it. Afterward, Mingtang apologizes to Fenyu for once calling her a monster. Fenyu says she does not need sympathy, but when she offers him money for losing his job, he refuses and says money cannot solve everything. Then Fenyu suddenly invites him to dinner. Mingtang takes her to a small noodle shop, where she slowly starts enjoying herself. Suddenly, Yuno arrives and gets shocked seeing them together. After Fenyu leaves because of a phone call, Yuno teasingly asks Mingtang if they are dating. Mingtang tells Yuno that nothing is going on between him and Fenyu. Yuno asks him to help him get closer to her someday, and Mingtang agrees. That night, Fenyu keeps thinking about Mingtang and does not even notice her drink overflowing. Her brother Jay realizes something is wrong and teases her after learning she went out to eat noodles with Mingtang. He jokingly calls it her first dinner date, making Fingyu embarrassed and angry. Meanwhile, Mingtang buys clothes and food for his siblings and happily tells them he will participate in the Zhanga tournament. Both Mingtang and Fingyu slowly start realizing their feelings for each other. Fingyu wonders if their dinner was actually a date, while Mingtang begins understanding that she is kinder than he first believed. The next day, Mingtang's siblings talk proudly about Fingyu visiting their house, but nobody believes them. Ling gets into a fight defending the truth and later runs away from school after being scolded. At college, Fingyu suddenly joins Mingtang during lunch, shocking everyone. Sia and Fingyu start arguing over his training and diet. Then Yuno accidentally reveals that Fingyu invited Mingtang to dinner the previous night, making everyone surprised and embarrassed. Suddenly, Mingtang receives a call that Ling has disappeared from school and rushes out worried. Later, Ling finds Fingyu and cries because nobody believed him. Fingyu visits his school, proving she really knows him. She makes peace between the children and promises to visit monthly to train them, making everyone happy. Mingtang arrives there too and emotionally hugs his siblings, promising he will always protect them even without their parents. Fingyu becomes touched seeing this caring side of him. Meanwhile, Suinhao joins Cheng's father for training. A flashback reveals Suinhao liked Cheng from the first time he saw her training. Cheng becomes annoyed when her father forces them to practice together, while Ning secretly watches them and feels jealous. Later, Mingtang, Fingyu, and the kids join a hot dog contest. Mingtang and Fingyu win together, and while cleaning powder from each other's faces, they look like a happy couple. At the same time, Suinhao and Cheng continue training together. During a jungle shortcut, Suinhao pretends a snake bit him just to scare Cheng. She panics trying to save him, but later realizes he was joking and angrily calls him a trickster. In the evening, Mingtang starts working at Yuno's restaurant. Yuno proudly says he hired him so he can keep an eye on him and Fingyu. Sunya-chan arrives and starts bullying Mingtang again by ordering food without paying. Before things get worse, Suinhao appears and forces Ye-chan to apologize. Later, Cheng and Sia arrive at the restaurant and take Mingtang home together. Meanwhile, Fingyu is already at Mingtang's house playing with the kids when Sia and Cheng arrive. Mingtang brings home the hot dogs he won, but when his brother almost reveals the contest story, both Fingyu and Mingtang quickly stop him, making Sia suspicious. Later, Cheng teases Fingyu and asks if she likes Mingtang. Fingyu denies it and says there is a huge difference between them because Mingtang cannot even defeat her in combat. Unfortunately, Mingtang overhears this while returning her bottle and feels heartbroken. The next day, a mysterious cake arrives at Mingtang's house. Ling eats it despite warnings and later gets severe food poisoning. Sia rushes him to the hospital, and Mingtang soon discovers Ye-chan sent the expired cake. Furious, Mingtang storms into JE College alone to confront Ye-chan. Ning purposely provokes the students against him and even beats him badly. Soon Suinhao arrives, stops the fight, and promises to uncover the truth about the poisoned cake. At the same time, Fingyu, Cheng, and Sia arrive at JE College to protect Mingtang. Both college students begin fighting again until teachers finally stop them. Later, the principal angrily scolds everyone for damaging the college's reputation. Fingyu boldly defends Mingtang and says if he is expelled, then she will leave too. Sia and Cheng also support him. Seeing this, Mingtang apologizes and promises to stay at Zhanga College and work harder. Meanwhile at JE College, Suinhao argues with Ye-chan and the others for creating trouble. They accuse him of supporting Zhanga College because he trains under Chang's father. Hurt by their accusations, Suinhao watches almost everyone leave his side. Later, Fingyu tells Mingtang not to misunderstand her actions because she only helped him as his senior. That evening, Fingyu, Cheng, and Sia visit his house again. Fingyu even drinks tea from a broken cup, shocking Cheng because the rich queen fighter has completely changed. Meanwhile, Sia openly flirts with Mingtang and even offers to stay overnight to care for him, making Fingyu awkwardly jealous. The next day, Cheng and Sia continue training Mingtang while Fingyu attends company work. Later, everyone visits Mingtang's workplace to help him wash cars, including Fingyu. They spend time together happily, while Sia complains that Yuno is only bringing Fingyu and Mingtang closer. Soon the principal announces a dance party between JE College and Zhanga College to improve relations. At first, Many girls misunderstand it as a fight gathering and arrive carrying weapons before realizing it is only a dance event. Sia becomes excited to teach Mingtang dancing, but he refuses. Just then Fengyu asks Mingtang to help her teach boxing to children. Yuno tries volunteering instead because Fengyu clearly wants to spend time alone with Mingtang, but since he is sick, Fengyu insists Mingtang should come too. Meanwhile at JE College, Suinhao focuses on training, but Yachan and Ning continue mocking him for supporting Zhang'a College. Feng tells him he first needs to decide whose side he is really on. Meanwhile, Yachan argues with Suinhao, saying he is the captain and deserves support because many club members still refuse to accept Suinhao as captain. At the same time, Fengyu and Mingtang visit the school, where the children excitedly gather around them. Fengyu teaches self-defense, and later Mingtang also demonstrates some moves, making the kids happy. Later, while walking together, they help a child retrieve a kite stuck in a tree. Fengyu notices Mingtang staring at her, and he admits it is his first time seeing her in a dress and that she looks beautiful. Fengyu shyly says he looks handsome too. Later, while walking, Mingtang asks Fengyu why she kicked the fruit seller's cart that day. Fengyu explains she only did it to save a little girl crossing the road. Realizing he misunderstood her, Mingtang apologizes and Fengyu forgives him. Meanwhile, Sia finds Yuno sick and hungry outside. She gives him leftover food meant for Mingtang's family, then takes him shopping to help choose clothes for Mingtang. Noticing Yuno has a fever, she quickly takes him to the hospital. The next day, Fengyu, Chung, and Sia continue training Mingtang. During boxing practice, Fengyu notices he never fights back and angrily asks how he will protect his family if he fears fighting. This reminds Mingtang of his painful past, when his father accidentally killed a man in a fight, destroying their family and making him fear violence forever. Fengyu tells him that if he cannot overcome this fear, he should quit boxing completely. Yachan mocks Mingtang, saying his younger brother only had diarrhea and did not die, so why was he acting so angry? Mingtang loses his temper. When Yachan attacks again, Mingtang grabs his hand, slams him against the wall, and punches beside his face instead of hitting him. Terrified by his strength, Yachan runs away. Mingtang finally realizes his training is making him stronger. The next day, Sia and Chung continue teaching him fighting skills. Because of his sharp memory, Mingtang quickly copies techniques and improves fast. Later, everyone receives a message saying all students must wear formal clothes at the upcoming dance party or face punishment. Chung becomes worried because she hates feminine clothes and has always lived like a tomboy. At a clothing store, Foam from JE College mocks Chung, saying she always thought Chung was a boy and even dresses cannot make her pretty. Chung calmly replies that beauty comes from character, not appearance. Ning then teases Chung, saying she must be dressing up to impress Suinhao because she likes him. Chung denies it, but Foam keeps mocking her before leaving. Meanwhile, Sia buys an expensive outfit for Mingtang, but he refuses to accept it. Even after Sia says it is a gift, he returns the money and says she has already done too much for his family. Hurt, Sia asks why he treats her like a stranger. Mingtang explains that she is important to him, which is why he does not want to become a burden on her, then quietly leave. In the next scene, the headmaster calls Mingtang and says, "Brother, I look good, right? I want to look better than the JE College president. By the way, are you ready for the party?" But Mingtang does not have a good dress, so he makes an excuse. "Sir, I cannot come. I need to prepare for the tournament." The headmaster smiles and says, "I knew you would say that. Don't worry, I have something for you." From the next day, dance party preparations begin in the college. All the girls start getting ready early. Meanwhile, Chung also does her makeup. Seeing this, Sia gets shocked and says, "What have you done? You look like a horror movie witch." Finally, party day arrived. The director installs a detector machine because he knows the girls might bring weapons. And exactly that happens. Some bring rods, some hide dusters, and some even carry knives. What is this? Are you all planning a murder? At that moment, Chung arrives wearing a masculine outfit. All the girls stare at her and say, "What a cool guy. I wish she were really a boy." But the director gets angry and says, "You are a girl. Then why are you dressed like a boy?" Ching replies, "You only said formal dress. You never said girl or boy dress." The director sighs, "Oh God, what should I do with her?" Soon, the JE College president and students arrive, and the headmaster welcomes them. Suinhao secretly gives Chung a thumbs up while Sia keeps staring at her in confusion. Meanwhile, Fengyu searches for Mingtang, but he has not arrived yet. Then Yuno enters wearing a wedding dress. Cheng and Sia laugh, Did you come for a party or a wedding? Yuno replies, who knows, maybe both. The party finally begins. The headmaster gives a speech, saying the event is meant to improve relations between Jae and Janga College, so no fighting, only dancing and enjoyment. As the music starts, everyone begins dancing. Then Mingtang finally arrives. The girls stare at him and whisper, he looks so handsome. Yuno says, you said you wouldn't come. Minging replies, the headmaster called me and gave me this suit. It's actually his wedding suit. Sia smiles and asks, you look really handsome today. Will you dance with me? But before he can answer, Chung grabs Sia away and says, no, she will dance with me. Meanwhile, Finyu keeps watching Mingtang secretly. She wants him to invite her for a dance. Sia again tries to approach Mingtang, while Chung tells Finyu, go invite him yourself. But Finyu is too strict and shy. She imagines Mingtang coming to invite her, but her dream suddenly breaks when she sees him standing right in front of her. Both want to speak, but neither can say anything. Just then, two boys nearby say, that's Finyu, the rich top athlete. Who would dare invite her? She'll reject anyone immediately. Hearing this, Mingtang loses confidence, and both silently keep staring at each other. On the other side, Chung starts teasing Finyu. What happened? No boy gave you attention, so you came here to eat secretly. Finyu fires back, same goes for you. No boy invited you either. Then Finyu challenges her, let's see who gets invited first. Ching immediately accepts. Both wait for a long time, but no one invites them. Finally, Suinhao comes and directly asks Chung for a dance. She happily says yes, making Finyu jealous. While dancing, one guy jokes, Captain, could you only find a boy to dance with? Ching instantly kicks him and shouts, your mother is a boy. Suinhao laughs and says, I don't care what people say. I like you the way you are. Hearing this, Chung becomes shy. Meanwhile, Finyu still secretly watches Mingang. Sia signals Yuno, and he asks Finyu for a dance, but she rejects him immediately. Then Yuno drags Mingtang outside, saying, my stomach hurts. Come with me. This was actually Sia's plan to keep Mingtang away from Finyu. After that, Yechan approaches Finyu and asks her to dance. Already irritated, she says, call an ambulance first. Today I'll teach him a real dance lesson. Yechan gets scared and quickly says, I was joking. I actually came to find the president. Outside, Yuno keeps taking photos with two JE girls while Finyu walks sadly into the garden. There, she finds Mingtang already standing alone. Finyu asks, why are you here? Mingtang replies, just getting some fresh air. What about you? Finyu says, I don't like socializing much. But why are you staring at me like that? Mingtang smiles and says, it's my first time seeing you in a dress. You look really beautiful. Finyu blushes and replies softly, you look handsome too. Then she gathers courage and asks him for a dance herself. Mingtang says, but I don't know how to dance. Finyu smiles and replies, no problem, I'll teach you, and the two start dancing together. Meanwhile, Sia keeps searching for Mingtang while Yuno stays busy taking photos. Frustrated, Sia shouts, because of you, Mingtang disappeared. You ruined everything. And she sadly walks away. To cheer her up, Yuno puts Mingtang's photo on his face and jokingly dances with her, making Sia laugh. Later, Finyu takes Mingtang to meet her brother Jae, a professional trainer. Jae teases Finyu about Mingtang, but she angrily warns him to stop. During training, Jae defeats Mingtang at first, but Mingtang quickly copies his fighting style and wins back. Jae jokes that he still will not allow him to date his sister, embarrassing Finyu. After training, Finyu drops Mingtang at work, where Sia is already helping with his job because he looked exhausted. That evening, Sia cooks dinner for Mingtang's family. Finyu arrives with food too, but after seeing Sia happily feeding everyone, she becomes jealous and quietly leaves. At home, Finyu angrily ruins an omelette while cooking. Jae laughs and says she seems jealous, but Finyu tells him to shut up. The next day, Mingtang ranks first in a physical test while Finyu comes second. Yechan becomes jealous, but Finyu reminds him that Mingtang trained seriously while he wasted time. Later, Finyu's grandfather tells her to focus less on school activities and more on office work, and she agrees. The next day, Finyu gives Ching a box to deliver to the library. Inside are romance novels, but Finyu quickly stops Chung from opening it. Later, Chung sees Sia following Mingtang and assumes she is flirting with him, so she secretly follows too. Sia cooks dinner for Mingtang's family. Chang pretends not to care, but after tasting the food, she loves it. Sia sends photos to Finyu to make her jealous, while Cheng also praises Sia's cooking. Jealous, Finyu decides to learn cooking herself and forces her terrified brother to taste her dishes. Jae later jokes that her food was so dangerous people might end up in the hospital, making Fingyu panic and cut the call. Meanwhile, Mingtang becomes exhausted from training. Sia tells him to skip work, but he refuses because he promised the shop owner he would work for 2 months. So Sia decides to work in his place while Chung tells him to rest. At the coffee shop, Fingyu asks Bunny if boys like girls who can cook and act cute. Bunny says yes both times, making Fingyu sadly wonder if boys could ever like someone like her. Suddenly, Bunny removes the costume, and Fingyu is shocked to discover it is actually Sia. Sia says cooking is learned from childhood and reveals she came to work instead of Mingtang today. Fingyu then realizes Mingtang was the bunny mascot before and becomes extremely embarrassed remembering everything she said to him. Panicking, she runs away. That night, Fingyu cannot sleep and keeps thinking about Mingtang. At 1 a.m., she goes to Chang's room and admits she made a huge mistake by not realizing Bunny was Mingtang. Chung calls her stupid and tells her to act normal, but Fingyu keeps talking. Finally, Chung asks why she always acts strange whenever Sia is around Mingtang and tells her to admit she likes him. Fingyu immediately denies it. The next day, Sia goes to confess her feelings to Bunny, thinking it is Mingtang. But inside the costume is actually Yuno, who becomes terrified. Sia happily hugs him, believing he accepted her feeling, but once Yuno removes the mask, Sia furiously beats him and chases him away. The next day, Chung asks why Yuno missed college, and Mingtang says he is badly sick. Sia quietly remembers beating him too hard. Meanwhile, Fingyu keeps failing at cooking, so she goes to Yuno's restaurant and asks him to teach her. Yuno agrees and shows her how to make his famous noodles. The next day, Sia tells Chung that Fingyu has been leaving college early lately. Hearing this, Yuno suddenly starts laughing, confusing Ching. Ching asks Yuno where Fingyu goes every day, but Yuno pretends he forgot everything after getting hit on the head. Sia warns him not to talk too much or she will beat him again. After college, Fingyu goes to Yuno's restaurant and finally makes delicious noodles. Yuno is shocked because the taste is exactly like his mother's cooking, making Fingyu very happy. Later, Fingyu gives the noodles to Chung. After tasting them, Chung realizes Fingyu learned cooking for Mingtang. Fingyu admits she wants to confess her feelings through the dish. She says if Mingtang rejects the noodles, it will hurt less than a direct confession. Ching agrees to help her. Meanwhile, Yuno tells Mingtang that he likes Fingyu and believes she likes him too because she visits him every night to learn cooking. Hearing this makes Mingtang jealous and upset. Later, Mingtang sees Fingyu leaving happily with Yuno and becomes convinced she likes him. During training, Mingtang cannot focus. Ching notices and takes him to lunch, where Fingyu is serving noodles to everyone. Ching hints that Fingyu made the noodles for someone special, but Mingtang remembers Yuno's words and assumes they are meant for him. Feeling heartbroken, he tries to leave. Just then, Sia arrives and invites Mingtang to lunch. Although Ching tries to stop him, Mingtang leaves with Sia out of jealousy. Fingyu secretly follows them and becomes devastated after seeing Sia suddenly kiss Mingtang while eating together. Yuno later realizes Fingyu never learned cooking for him, but for Mingtang. Hurt, he returns home, where his mother comforts him and says someone else will love him someday. Meanwhile, Fingyu angrily punches a bag while remembering Sia kissing Mingtang. Chung tells her to calm down and talk honestly with him, but Fingyu only gets more upset. The next morning, Chung warns Suanhao not to learn the dangerous death strike technique because Fingyu's uncle died using it. Suanhao says he believes there was another reason behind the death, but Chung still begs him to stop. Meanwhile, Fingyu angrily confronts Mingtang about Sia kissing him. When she moves closer as if to kiss him back, Mingtang suddenly wakes up and realizes it was only a dream. Downstairs, he sees Sia cooking breakfast for his siblings and tries to talk seriously with her, but Sia tells him to focus on the prelim tournament first. At college, the prelims begin with students and parents watching. Yuno struggles badly in his fight, but still manages to win. Meanwhile, a mysterious man secretly watches the tournament and complains on the phone that none of the fighters seems strong enough. Later, Mingtang briefly holds Fingyu's hand for the first time, making both of them awkward. Soon, Yuno fights Suanhao and loses after a long match. Suanhao's next opponent is Mingtang. Before the fight, Sia, Chung, and Fingyu encourage Mingtang to trust himself. During the match, Suanhao dominates at first, but suddenly shocks everyone by withdrawing from the tournament. Later, Ning learns Suinhao quit because he wants her to become the new captain since nobody accepts him anymore. Now Mingting must fight Yachan. He gets beaten badly at first, but after remembering how Yachan humiliated him in front of his siblings, he regains his strength, fights back, and finally defeats him. Exhausted after winning, Mingting collapses in front of Fengyu. Later, the president jokes that Mingting still failed the prelim requirements before laughing and praising everyone for their hard work, especially Mingtong's rapid improvement. That evening, everyone celebrates Mingtong's victory together. After the party, Fengyu walks Mingting home while Sia follows them, saying she plans to cook for his family again tomorrow. Seeing Sia close to him once more makes Fengyu sad. The next day, Sia cooks for Mingtong's family again. Later, Mingting walks her outside because it is late. There, Mingting gently thanks Sia for everything she has done for him and his family. But then he honestly admits he knows about her feelings and cannot give her false hope because he likes someone else. Although heartbroken, Sia forces herself to smile and says she will keep loving him anyway. After leaving, she finally breaks down crying alone, sadly saying Mingting did not need to reject her so directly because she already knew he never loved her. Chung calls Suinhao to ask why he quit the match. Seeing him, she angrily hits him and says her father had high hopes for him. Suinhao smiles and says he is happy she cares about him so much. Embarrassed, Chung denies it and tries to leave, but Suinhao stops her, shows her an apple, and says, "You are the apple of my eye." Chung shyly admits she does not know the meaning because her English is weak. Suinhao hints that he likes her and tells her to think about it before leaving. That night, Chung disturbs Fengyu because she cannot sleep. Annoyed, Fengyu asks what happened, and Chung tells her everything. Fengyu explains that apple of my eye means someone very special you love. Hearing this makes Chung happy. The next day, Suinhao is punished for quitting the tournament and is forced to clean toilets while others mock him. Meanwhile, Sia brings lunch for Yuno and Mingting. A flashback reveals Sia cried to Yuno after Mingting rejected her and Yuno comforted her. Soon, Chung rushes in asking about their English exam result. Both she and Sia fail badly and panic after learning the re-exam is only 3 days away. Mingting notices their weak English and offers to teach them. Both immediately beg him to become their teacher. Later, Chung tells Fengyu she did not invite her because Fengyu is already good at English, secretly making Fengyu jealous. At home, Fengyu purposely writes wrong homework answers. The next day, she keeps daydreaming about Mingting teaching her and ignores the teacher in class. Later, Fengyu is shocked after scoring full marks because her brother Jae secretly corrected her homework. Meanwhile, Mingting continues teaching Sia and Chung, making Fengyu even more jealous. Later, Fengyu helps Mingting wash cars so he can finish work quickly and teach the girls on time. That night, Sia and Chung struggle with English while complaining it is harder than fighting. Yuno arrives with dinner, and soon Mingting and Fengyu join them. Sia gets irritated seeing Fengyu close to Mingting. On exam day, both Cheng and Sia pass, but Chung becomes angry after scoring 1 mark lower than Sia. Meanwhile, Fengyu's grandfather asks her to join the family business immediately. Though sad because she wanted to graduate first, Fengyu agreed. Later, Jae comforts her and says she may return to college later. He tells her to enjoy herself while he handles the office work. Meanwhile, Chung tricks Mingting by saying Fengyu always dreamed of visiting the theme park, but now cannot go because of work. Later, Mingting visits Fengyu's office and invites her to the theme park, but she refuses because of work, leaving him disappointed. That evening, Sia cooks dinner at Mingtong's house. Ching arrives after seeing her food post online, and soon Fengyu also comes, hoping to thank Mingting. Suddenly, Yachan arrives with goons to attack Mingting. Since he is not home, Sia stands against them first, and Fengyu soon joins her. Together, Fengyu, Sia, and Chung beat up all the goons and warn them never to trouble Mingtong's family again. The next day, Fengyu learns Jae secretly arranged for her to go to the theme park and even bought her the dress she liked online. At the park, everyone gets surprised seeing Fengyu dressed beautifully. Yuno praises her looks, making Sia jealous. They enjoy the rides while Yuno babysits Mingtong's sibling. During the roller coaster ride, Chung purposely switches seats so Fengyu can sit beside Mingting. Later, Fengyu sees an old swing and recalls her childhood. Mingting smiles and rides the swing with her. Meanwhile, Sia feels dizzy after the roller coaster, so Ching leaves her with Yuno. Finally, Fengyu and Mingting enter a haunted house together, but instead of getting scared, Fengyu starts beating up the fake ghosts trying to frighten them. Inside the haunted house, Finyu kicks a ghost actor so hard that he almost faints. Shocked, the worker complains while Finyu and Mingtang quickly apologize. Meanwhile, Ching meets Suanhao at a store where he wins a huge teddy bear for her. Ching asks why he keeps following her. Suanhao says he came because she never answered his confession. Ching gets confused and asks why he likes her when there are prettier girls around. Suanhao replies that love does not need a reason, but Cheng demands 100 reasons before she will believe him. Suanhao agrees and says he will give her those reasons someday. Later, everyone returns home after enjoying the theme park. Finyu happily says she will always remember the day, and Mingtang quietly agrees. The next day, the president calls Finyu, Sia, and Ching and praises them as the college's strongest fighters. Then he reveals they have been invited to an exhibition match in Macau. All three girls refuse at first because they are already preparing for finals, but the president and director insist it will increase the college's reputation. When the girls still refuse, the director threatens them by mentioning the theme park fight incident. Finally, the president calms things down by saying the college will pay all expenses, so they agree to go. Finyu also asks Mingtang to join as their coach. Yuno wants to come too, but Ching refuses because there is no extra budget, making Yuno sad again. Meanwhile, Finyu rushes home after hearing her grandfather has returned. There, Grandpa tells her to learn business skills from Wei. After he leaves, Finyu accuses Wei of using Grandpa to pressure her, so Finyu challenges him. She says she will only go to dinner with him if he finds a French restaurant run by a French chef who can cook soybean paste noodles, something she believes is impossible. Surprisingly, Wei accepts the challenge. The next day, Grandpa scolds Finyu for acting childish, while Wei defends her. Later, Jay arrives at college to pick Finyu up. There he meets Mingtang, who immediately recognizes him. When Finyu arrives, Wei proudly announces he found the restaurant and even brought a French chef who can cook soybean noodles. Everyone gets shocked, so Finyu is forced to keep her promise and go to dinner with him. Mingtang becomes jealous seeing them together. Ching makes things worse by inviting many college girls, Sia and Yuno, to join the dinner too. Because of the huge group, Wei becomes uncomfortable, especially when Chung loudly announces the dinner bill is on him. By the end of the night, Wei's credit card limit gets exceeded, making everyone laugh. Later, Chung notices Mingtang acting strange and tells Finyu he is obviously jealous after seeing her ride in another man's car. Finyu decides she will explain everything to Mingtang the next day, but Chung tells her it is more fun to let him stay jealous. Meanwhile, Mingtang cannot sleep because he keeps thinking about Finyu. The next morning at college, he practices while looking distracted. Cheng keeps teasing him, and after hearing Finyu enjoyed the dinner with Wei, Mingtang becomes even more jealous. Just as Finyu starts leaving, Mingtang suddenly stops her. Mingtang stops Finyu and asks if she likes Wei. Finyu remembers Cheng's advice not to reveal her feelings too early, so she replies that she neither likes nor dislikes him. Mingtang warns her not to trust Wei because he is not as good as he seems. Finyu then asks, then who is better than him? Mingtang wants to confess, but when he notices Finyu's expensive bottle, he remembers she could not even drink tea comfortably at his house. Thinking they belong to different worlds, he loses confidence. Finyu asks again, tell me, Mingtang, who is that better guy? But Mingtang only says, I don't know, but Wei is not right for you, and leaves sadly. Meanwhile, Chung gets angry at Finyu in the park and says she should have directly asked Mingtang if he likes her. Just then Chung sees Mingtang nearby and calls him over. Ignoring Finyu's panic, Chung starts telling a fake story about a girl whose junior liked her but became jealous when she spent time with another guy. Before Chung can finish, Finyu punches her again, knocking her unconscious just like before. Mingtang gets shocked while Finyu quickly drags Chung away, calling her crazy. Later, after waking up, Chung angrily complains that Finyu always knocks her out whenever she says too much. At night, both Finyu and Mingtang secretly look at each other's photos, showing they have both fallen in love, but are too scared to confess. The next day, Finyu's grandfather orders her to go to Dubai for business work. Finyu becomes upset because she already promised the college president she would join the Macau competition. Even Jay supports her, but Grandpa refuses to listen and says business is more important. Helplessly, Finyu agrees. Before leaving, Finyu visits Mingtang's siblings and teaches them taekwondo. Later, she takes them out for barbecue. While eating, The children reveal that Mingtang used to save money for them so they could eat barbecue once every month. Fenyu gets confused because Mingtang always said he hated barbecue. Then the younger sibling tearfully explains that their mother ordered barbecue the day she abandoned them. Since then, barbecue reminds Mingtang of that painful memory. Hearing this deeply saddens Fenyu because she realizes Mingtang also carries family wounds like her. Meanwhile, Wei accidentally meets Yachan, who mentions Mingtang and reveals that Fenyu always protects him. After seeing Mingtang's photo, Wei realizes he is the same guy from the earlier party incident. Later, Wei confronts Mingtang while he is working. He insults Mingtang for acting poor and says someone of his status can never win Fenyu. Mingtang calmly tells him to leave, but Wei keeps insulting him. Finally, Mingtang throws water on him and says a man obsessed with money is not worthy of Fenyu. Wei angrily threatens him and leaves. That night, Yuno drinks with Mingtang and suddenly says, "Do you know Fenyu likes you?" Mingtang gets shocked and asks who said that. Yuno replies that everyone can see how much Fenyu cares about him. Finally, Fenyu confesses her love to Mingtang and hugs him. He admits he liked her for a long time, but felt insecure because he is poor. Fenyu smiles and says money does not matter to her. She kisses him and jokes that it is punishment because Sia kissed him before. Soon, Mingtang kisses her back, and both happily confess their feeling. That night, Fenyu returns home extremely happy and even hugs Jay, shocking him. Meanwhile, Mingtang's cheerful mood also surprises his sibling. The next day, everyone leaves for Macau for the exhibition mat. Yuno joins too after getting permission from the president. Mingtang feels sad because Fenyu is supposedly leaving for Dubai. In Macau, Mingtang shows everyone around the places where he once lived, while Cheng and Sia perform well in the matches. Meanwhile, Sia notices a strange woman in the crowd who somehow feels familiar. At the same time, Jay becomes worried after learning Fenyu never reached Dubai and suspects she secretly went to Macau. Later, Mingtang's old boss quickly realizes he is in love after seeing how happy he looked. Elsewhere, Chung reads the many messages Suanhao sent her explaining why he likes her. However, after Feng tells her Suanhao only wants to learn her father's death strike technique, she sadly deletes his number. That night, Sia shows Mingtang gifts she planned for him and his family. But Mingtang gently tells her to stop hurting herself for him because he cannot return her feeling. Heartbroken again, Sia becomes emotional. Meanwhile, Fenyu suddenly appears before Mingtang outside the hotel. Overjoyed, he hugs her and asks why she came instead of going to Dubai. The two spend time together around Macau, and Mingtang buys her a rabbit toy because he knows she loves rabbit. Elsewhere, Sia drinks sadly with Yuno and cries about being rejected. Yuno accidentally hints she should like him instead, but Sia angrily defends Mingtang and keeps crying. Meanwhile, Fenyu's grandfather learns about Mingtang and becomes furious. Later, Fenyu prepares to leave for Dubai, and Mingtang gives her the rabbit as a goodbye gift. That same night, Sia overhears two women talking. One reveals her husband did not die because of fighting but from cancer, and she also mentions seeing Fenyu recently. Sia becomes shocked after realizing the woman knows Fenyu's family. After returning home, Chung confronts Suanhao and accuses him of using her to learn the death strike technique. Suanhao explains her father was joking and honestly confesses his feeling, but Chung refuses to believe him and breaks up with him. Meanwhile, Sia trains harshly with Mingtang because she already knows he loves Fenyu. Later, Mingtang apologizes for hiding his relationship and promises Sia will always remain his best friend. Sia calms down and supports him again. The next day, Mingtang and Fenyu happily go on a date. Meanwhile, Jay visits Mingtang's house and playfully orders his siblings around until they threaten to complain to Fenyu. Jay quickly bribes them with food. That evening, Grandpa angrily confronts Fenyu for secretly meeting Mingtang in Macau instead of going to Dubai. He insults Mingtang and claims he only wants her money. Jay tries defending him, but Grandpa refuses to listen. Fenyu boldly says she confessed first, making Grandpa even angrier. After a huge fight, Fenyu leaves home. Meanwhile, Chung dreams about Suanhao and angrily beats him even in her dream before waking up beside Fenyu, who has run away from home. The next morning, Chung jokes after seeing Fengyu even brought her personal chef with her. Later, Fengyu visits Mingtong's house and cooks noodles for him and his siblings. Everyone loves the food, and when the noodles run short, Mingtang sweetly feeds Fengyu from his own bowl. At college, the couple openly eats lunch together, shocking everyone as rumors about their relationship spread. Later, Grandpa personally visits Mingtang and politely offers him anything in exchange for leaving Fengyu. However, Mingtang firmly refuses and says he will only leave if Fengyu herself asks him to. The next day, Grandpa suddenly falls sick while working with Jay. Seeing how tired and old he has become, Jay emotionally asks Fengyu to return home because Grandpa raised them alone after their parents died. Feeling guilty, Fengyu returns home and lovingly makes coffee for Grandpa, making him happy again. Later, Fengyu sadly tells Mingtang that she is going to leave college. Mingtang worries it is because of him, but Fengyu explains that her grandfather always wanted her to join the business. Still, Mingtang sadly hugs her and apologizes for not being able to do anything for her. The next day, Chung sees Suinha while running, but she is still angry and ignores him. Meanwhile, Mingtong's problems keep increasing. At work, he learns the shop is closing for renovation, and at his second job, the owner tells him to take leave because the equipment failed inspection. That evening, the new owner of Mingtong's house suddenly orders him to vacate by tomorrow without explanation. Mingtang and his siblings become extremely worried. The next day, Mingtang asks Yuno for help. At the same time, Fengyu notices property papers related to Mingtong's house in her company office, making Jay suspicious. Meanwhile, Yuno's mother warmly welcomes Mingtang and his siblings into her home and even offers him work at their shop. Mingtang finally feels relieved. Later, Fengyu visits Mingtong's old house and discovers someone else already moved in. Shocked, she receives a call from Sia asking to meet. When they meet, Sia angrily fights Fengyu, blaming her family for ruining Mingtong's life. Yuno quickly calls Chung to stop them, but poor Chung ends up getting kicked by both of them instead. After calming down, Sia reveals Mingtang lost both his home and jobs because of Fengyu's family. Hearing this, Fengyu rushes home and angrily confronts her grandfather. Grandpa admits he pressured Mingtang because he refused to leave Fengyu willingly. Then he reveals a shocking truth. Mingtong's father once killed Fenyu's beloved Uncle Ji during a fighting match. Fengyu becomes completely shattered after hearing this. Later, Mingtang comes to meet her. Fengyu directly asks if his father killed someone. Mingtang honestly says yes. Then Fengyu reveals that the victim was Uncle Ji. Both of them are left shocked and heartbroken. While crying, Fengyu wanders outside and gets into trouble with some girls who beat her badly. She does not even fight back. Later, Jay brings the injured Fengyu home. Grandpa feels guilty, but Jay angrily tells him that family should protect each other instead of causing pain. Meanwhile, the mysterious fighter appears again and defeats Yachan with a single punch, sending him to the hospital. When Ning and Suinhao visit Yachan, he explains that the man was an extremely dangerous trained fighter. At college, Mingtang asks Chung for help because Fengyu refuses to talk to him. Chung later meets Fengyu and explains that what happened in the past was a tragic accident during a match. She reminds Fengyu that Mingtang and his siblings also suffered because of it. Ching says Uncle Ji would never want Fengyu to stay trapped in hatred forever. Fengyu quietly admits she knows Mingtang is innocent, but still needs time to process everything. Meanwhile, Jay returns Mingtong's house key after speaking with the landlord. He apologizes for what his family did and insists Mingtang stay there again. Finally, at Mingtong's request, Jay takes him to meet Fengyu. Fengyu is still angry at Mingtang and refuses to talk to him. Mingtang sadly explains that both of them suffered because of the past. After Uncle Ji's death, his father was treated like a murderer by everyone. His mother left them, and later his father died in a drunk driving accident. Since then, Mingtang lived a lonely and painful life. He tells Fengyu that she was the one who gave him courage and changed his life, so he will never regret loving her. Meanwhile, Suinhao meets Chung and warns her that the dangerous fighter who attacked Yachan may have come for the tournament. He tells her to stay careful. Just then, Chang's father arrives and jokingly assumes they got back together. Embarrassed, Chung angrily denies it and leaves. On the other side, Fenyu and Mingtang slowly start training together again, showing Fenyu's anger is fading. The next day, the college tournament begins. Ching defeats Ning in the first match. Meanwhile, Uncle Ji's wife secretly meets Fenyu and reveals a shocking truth. She says that before the fight years ago, some people pressured Uncle Ji to intentionally lose the match. When he refused, goons attacked and injured him badly the night before. Then Sia fights a terrifying fighter named Wu John from Jimin College. Wu John is famous for brutally injuring his opponents. During the fight, Wu John badly defeats Sia, but the referee stops him before things become worse. Now the final match between Fenyu and Wu John is scheduled for the next day. She also reveals that Mingtong's father knew about this truth, but still fought Uncle Ji seriously, which eventually caused his death. Hearing this completely shocks Fenyu. Afterward, Fenyu meets Mingtang and suddenly breaks up with him. She angrily says she can never forgive his father or the fact that he is his son. Mingtang becomes heartbroken and confused. Later, Fenyu cries heavily in front of Chung because she truly loved Mingtang. The next day, Sia is recovering in the hospital while Yuno takes great care of her. Sia secretly realizes how much Yuno genuinely worries about her. Soon Chung and Suinhao arrive, and Chung immediately starts teasing Sia about losing her fight. The two begin arguing loudly until the nurse scolds them for causing drama inside the hospital. Meanwhile, the tournament final is about to begin, but Fenyu never arrives because she is visiting Uncle Ji's memorial. As a result, Fenyu gets disqualified and Wu John wins by default. But Wu John hates winning without fighting, so he angrily throws away the trophy and leaves. The next day, Fenyu shocks the college president by submitting an application to leave college. The president asks if her family forced her again, but Fenyu says it is her own decision. Meanwhile, Chung rushes to Mingtang and tells him Fenyu is leaving college forever unless he stops her. Mingtang quickly goes to meet Fenyu and asks why she is suddenly abandoning her study. Fenyu hides the real truth because she does not want Mingtang to hate his father. Fenyu tells Mingtang that she cannot stay with him anymore because every time she sees him, she remembers Uncle Ji. She also reveals that she is leaving the country soon. Hearing this completely breaks Mingtang's heart. Later, after college, Wei comes to pick up Fenyu with flowers, saying Grandpa sent him. Fenyu refuses at first, but when she notices Mingtang nearby, she intentionally sits inside Wei's car. Seeing this makes Mingtang jealous and hurt, so he leaves immediately. The moment he leaves, Fenyu steps out of the car and refuses to go with Wei. Meanwhile, Mingtang sits sadly remembering all his moments with Fenyu. Soon, Wei arrives with some men and humiliates Mingtang. He forces him to clean his dirty car and mocks him for being poor. Wei proudly says that once he marries Fenyu, he will make Mingtang work as his servant. Mingtang angrily replies that Fenyu will never love someone like him. Wei then reveals he never truly loved Fenyu either, and only wanted to use her family for business. Unknowingly, Jay had already installed CCTV cameras there, and everything Wei said was recorded. Jay sends the recording to Fenyu, making her furious. Meanwhile, at Mingtong's house, Sia and Yuno cook together for the children. Since Sia's hand is injured, Yuno gently feeds her food himself. The kids teasingly ask if they are dating. Yuno becomes shy, but Sia casually says Yuno only helps disabled people, hurting Yuno a little because she still does not understand his feeling. The next day, Fenyu calls Wei to meet her. Wei arrives confidently with reporters, hoping to spread fake news about their marriage. But Fenyu cleverly plays the recording exposing Wei insulting her and her family. Then she throws water on his face and publicly humiliates him, warning him never to show his face again. At the same time, Jay shows the recording to Grandpa, who becomes furious and immediately cancels his business deal with Wei's family. Wei's father angrily slaps him for ruining such an important partnership. Afterward, Wu John suddenly appears in front of Fenyu's car and challenges her to fight. Fenyu refuses because she already quit boxing, but Wu John is obsessed with defeating her and even tries attacking Jay. Luckily, Jay escapes using an electric shock device, while security guards arrive, forcing Wu John to run away. Later, Wei secretly meets Wu John and suggests using Mingtang to force Fenyu into a fight. Yachan overhears everything and finally realizes how wrong he was for bullying Mingtang in the past. That night, Wu John kidnaps Mingtang and attacks him badly. Yachan arrives and tries helping Mingtang fight back, but Wu John defeats both of them easily and knocks Mingtang unconscious. Then Wu John calls Fenyu and threatens her. He says if she wants to save Mingtang, she must fight him the next day. Fenyu angrily calls him and warns him this is illegal, but Wu John threatens to kill Mingtang if she contacts the police. Later, Yachan tells Ching and the others everything, including Wei's involvement in the kidnapping. Everyone immediately starts planning to rescue Mingdang. Meanwhile, Fengyu storms into a bar where Wei is partying and demands to know Mingtong's location. At first Wei refuses, but after Fengyu beats him badly, he finally agrees to take her there. On the other side, Mingtang frees himself from the ropes and fights Wu Zhan's men while trying to escape. Suddenly Wu Zhan blocks his path and attacks him again. At that exact moment, Fengyu arrives with Wei and shouts at Wu Zhan to leave Mingtang alone because she will fight him herself. On the other side, Fengyu and Wu Zhan continue fighting, and Wu Zhan clearly has the upper hand. At that moment, Mingtang tells Fengyu that Wu Zhan already understands her fighting style, so she must switch styles. Fengyu then starts using Ching and Xia's fighting techniques and finally defeats Wu Zhan, winning the first round. Soon Yuno and Cheng also arrive. Mingtang explains that Fengyu accepted Wu Zhan's challenge, but Wu Zhan is secretly using jutsu during boxing. Cheng gets angry and says, "That's cheating." The second round begins, and Wu Zhan, now furious, repeatedly attacks Fengyu with his jutsu technique. Fengyu gets badly injured during the fight. Just then, Cheng's father arrives and shouts at Wu Zhan, "You think you're a great fighter? Fight me if you have courage. Let's see how you handle my death strike moves." But Wu Zhan refuses and says, "I won't fight an old man. Send one of your students instead." Cheng immediately says, "Dad, teach me death strike. I'll fight him." But her father refuses, saying the technique is not for girls. Yuno also asks to learn it, but Cheng's father says they are not ready yet. In the end, only Mingtang remains, and Cheng's father decides to teach him instead. As training begins, Mingtang remembers practicing similar techniques with his own father. Because of that, he learns death strike very quickly. Soon, Mingtang and Wu Zhan face each other. Mingtang easily dodges Wu Zhan's attacks and keeps countering him non-stop, completely overpowering him. Unable to accept defeat, Wu Zhan suddenly pushes Mingtang from the roof. Mingtang hits his head and falls unconscious. Later, the police arrive and arrest Wu Zhan. Meanwhile, Fengyu rushes Mingtang to the hospital. The doctor reveals that he has suffered a serious head injury and is now in a coma. Hearing this, Fengyu becomes heartbroken. Xia and Ling also burst into tears. Although Fengyu tries to comfort them by saying Mingtang will wake up soon, she herself is deeply worried. Every day, Fengyu visits the hospital and prays for Mingtang's recovery. Even the entire college worries and prays for him. One day, while Fengyu is making a bracelet for Mingtang, his condition suddenly worsens and doctors rush into the room. Later, the doctor tells Fengyu that his condition is unchanged. If he does not wake up soon, bringing him back may become even harder. Hearing this, Fengyu breaks down completely. At home, Grandpa tells Fengyu to transfer Mingtang to another hospital and send his siblings to boarding school, but Fengyu refuses. Grandpa says there is no other choice. That night, Fengyu sits beside Mingtang and puts the bracelet on his hand. Crying, she says, "Mingtang, please wake up. Grandpa wants to move you away, and I'm also going abroad. If you wake up, I promise I'll never be angry with you again." Meanwhile, Xia and Ling are also crying at Cheng's house, while Cheng's father tries to comfort them. The next morning, Mingtang dreams of Fengyu calling his name loudly. Suddenly, he wakes up and sees Fengyu sleeping beside him. As soon as Fengyu realizes he is awake, she bursts into tears and hugs him tightly. When the college learns that Mingtang has recovered, everyone becomes overjoyed. After some time, Mingtang is finally discharged from the hospital and returns home. Meanwhile, Yuno becomes jealous because Xia only talks about Mingtang. Xia teases him about spending more time with Cheng. When Xia tries hitting him, Yuno suddenly holds her hand and seriously says only his mother has the right to hit him. Angry, Xia tells him to leave, and this time he actually walks away, upsetting her even more. Meanwhile, Fengyu accidentally cuts her finger while preparing fruit for Mingtang. He quickly holds her hand and puts her finger in his mouth to stop the bleeding, making her shy. Later, Cheng brings Mingtang's siblings to visit him, and they happily reunite. The next day, during practice, Xia and Yuno completely ignore each other. Cheng notices this and purposely calls Yuno away. Xia angrily says nobody can leave without her permission, but Yuno leaves anyway, making her jealous. Meanwhile, Grandpa keeps pressuring Fengyu to go abroad and emotionally weakens her by reminding her about Uncle Ji. Eventually, Fengyu agrees to leave. Later, Jay convinces Grandpa not to force her anymore, but the damage is already done. At the same time, Cheng openly asks Yuno if he likes Xia. Embarrassed, Yuno admits everyone understands his feelings except Sia herself. Meanwhile, Sia visits Yuno's restaurant because she misses him. Yuno's mother explains how deeply Yuno cares for the people close to him, making Sia realize his importance in her life. Elsewhere, Mingtang and Fingyu visit Uncle Ji's memorial together. Mingtang sincerely says he still wants to stay beside her despite everything. Just then, Uncle Ji's wife arrives and angrily calls Mingtang's father a killer involved in match-fixing. Hearing this completely shocks Mingtang. Soon, Fingyu finally tells him the truth about his father. Heartbroken, Mingtang breaks down after learning his father was blamed for Uncle Ji's death and cheating. Meanwhile, Ji's wife secretly calls Grandpa, revealing this was all part of his plan to separate Fingyu and Mingtang. Back home, Mingtang cries and starts hating his father, while Fingyu cries outside his house, feeling she no longer has the right to comfort him. Later, Chung visits Mingtang for Fingyu, but he sadly says he is no longer worthy of Fingyu and asks her to forget him. That night, Fingyu cries on Chang's shoulder before preparing to leave abroad. Before leaving, Fingyu meets everyone one last time, including Mingtang. After drinking together, the two quietly walk outside and remember how their love story began there. Mingtang hugs Fingyu and says he never regrets loving her. Meanwhile, a drunk Sia walks home while Yuno secretly follows her for protection. When Sia angrily questions him, Yuno suddenly pulls her close and kisses her. Shocked, Sia asks why he kissed her without permission, though secretly she feels happy. The next day, Fingyu leaves the country. Later, Chung finds Suin-hao sleeping at her house after training all night with her father. Their misunderstanding finally ends. 1 year later, Suin-hao transfers to Chang's college to stay close to her, and Chung wins the championship tournament. Meanwhile, Sia becomes famous for her beauty and appears in magazines, while Chung keeps teasing her about edited photos. At the same time, Yuno and Sia are now living together, but Mingtang still deeply misses Fingyu. One day, Chung sees news about a boxer's death linked to insurance fraud. Sia suddenly remembers overhearing a woman in Macau saying her husband was already dying from illness before the match. Suin-hao realizes this could be connected to Uncle Ji's case. Soon, Jae investigates and discovers Grandpa secretly paid Uncle Ji's wife to lie about Mingtang's father. Although Jae wants to tell Fingyu, Mingtang refuses because he does not want her hurt again. Later, Fingyu briefly returns for business work. Sia reveals the truth about the fraud case, shocking her completely. Fingyu immediately confronts Uncle Ji's wife, who admits she lied for money and her children's future. Soon, the police arrest her for insurance fraud. Afterward, Fingyu confronts Grandpa. He finally admits he separated her from Mingtang because he believed it was best for her. Sadly, Fingyu says she still loves him because he and Jae are her only family, but apologizes for never becoming the granddaughter he wanted. After she leaves, Grandpa finally realizes how much pain he caused her. Meanwhile, Jae tells Mingtang that Fingyu is in Macau. At the same time, Fingyu's old boxing master advises her to let go of the past and move forward. Later, Mingtang reaches Macau and waits near the same fountain where everything began. He throws a coin and wishes for the girl who left him. Suddenly, Fingyu catches the coin and says, "Your wish is accepted." She hugs him tightly, and finally the two reunite happily with a kiss. And with that, the drama comes to an end.